Welcome, War Games, to another episode of Rules You Get Wrong between me and Nurgling, aka Gunner. It's a great game, actually. He's a talented little boy. Slash man. Okay, yap. What did you guys rule for your warlord traits? Yeah, we forgot. Moving on. Kid ain't half bad with his paint job. Simple but crisp. Yes, I agree. It was very nice. And he uses green stuff. Great. Great. Nistal 4417. Dan, when you call the WOG, you don't get to re-roll your run. You can re-roll one or both your charge rolls. On page 35 of the rulebook, great seeing young player like me getting the hobby. Models look great. Gunner got talent. Good job. I agree with Gunner got talent. On your WOG, you get fleet. It says you get the fleet special rule. When you have the fleet special rule, you can re-roll your charge distances, but you can, when you have the fleet special rule, you can also re-roll your run. So you can only do one per turn. So if you fleet all the time, then you can either re-roll your charge or re-roll your run. If you do either. Obviously not both in the same turn, but yes, you can. Go reread that. It's pretty awesome. And awesome. Tristan Good, thank you for mentioning the dangerous terrain test for the Little Wagon. Makes me a happy panda. Well, you're welcome. Blood Angel Kenny, what is it with little wargamers and their lucky rolls? Lol. I think Games Workshop has this like tower that like influences the whole world, and when young or new wargamers get into a hobby, it just like affects their brainwaves and twitches their hand in just a way that they roll really well, so they get more into the hobby. That's my theory anyways. It's yet to be proven. But I'm on it. Don't worry, guys. I'll get some proof. Linux Ratio. That's an impressive army for a guy his age. Killer Hammer 7. An idea for a random video. Dan doing his WOG shout for as long as he physically can. I already do that. Every video. Come on, guys. Okay, sometimes I skimp out. But I try. I know I look like an orc, but I'm only human. I try, guys. I try. And that's why they're pretty long, because I usually try. Maybe if I like practiced and like prepared for it, be like just like pump my body full of oxygen and then just, and maybe a few seconds longer, but not gonna be that. All right, I'll think about it. Mercy of Spades. Hey Dan, I've noticed that you've been using the Weird Boy a great deal more in your games. Any particular reason for this? Because I love Weird Boys. I also love Weird Boys. Most of the time they're not very competitive. Justin likes to dance, but the thing about Weird Boys is that now they're a little bit more viable with the planes, because WOG turn, and now that because your run move is also affected by the WOG, like because you can re-roll it, it's having more WOGs called in a game is actually a lot more beneficial than it used to be between running and the planes. And so having a Weird Boy gives you an extra chance to get an extra one of those WOG turns, which is awesome. And so that's one reason. But also, I have my big army. I haven't added really anything too much to it. And so I just like the diversity. And Weird Boys are just a whole lot of fun. I agree with you there. Demon Master. Dan, it says right in the rulebook, if it's on the floor, it's a re-roll. It says it's generally accepted. Do I look like a generally accepting kind of person? No, I explain the rule. To my opponent, if it falls on the floor, the moment it goes off the table, this is my personal rule, so you don't have to play with it, but the moment it goes off the table, you call, I'm taking it. You just say it, I'm taking it. And whatever it is, you take it, unless you can't find it, or it's under somewhere and you can't find whatever, okay? But unless you call it right away, if you even pause for a moment, you can't say it. You can't take it, you have to re-roll. And I do that a bunch too, but occasionally you just roll and you just have a good feeling of that dice just going off the table and you like know it's going to be something good, even though you don't really know. You can call it. And that way, continues. So that's my personal rule. And again, general acceptance that you can discuss with your opponent. So it's fine by me. Should be fine by you. Loves to spoo. I think Deny Witch is the only. Oh, okay. Deny the Witch is only a 4+ if the defending psyker is a higher level. Yes, I did that wrong. I think I rolled a 5 anyways, though. I might have rolled a 4. I can't remember. I didn't look. But you are correct. It has to be higher to get a 4+. Equal or lower is 5+, and then no psyker around is 6+. To deny the witch. Kid certainly knows how to play, though. Dan's got a fight in his hands. I did. Bad moons. Shouldn't that first Plague Marine squad be destroyed, but all the models can't deploy within 2 inches of the door and left and rear doors being blocked? Page 80 basically says emergency disembarkation. And when something wrecks, you disembark 3 inches instead of 6. I know we did 6 a few times, which I was incorrect. But yeah, it's only 3 inches. But emergency disembarkation is if there is nowhere else. If you can't disembark, if all the hatches are blocked, you can disembark from anywhere. So you can always get out. The only detriment to emergency disembarkation, if it's in your movement phase and you disembark like that, because you can even do that even if it's not blown up. If you're just there, immobilized, and you're being surrounded, and there's like this one little gap where you're not within 1 inch of the guys, and you can just like hop out and move out, then you can do that, but then you can't do anything for the rest of your turn. So I don't know why you would want to get out unless you're like running for an objective or something. But there's that rule in place. But yes, he could fit everyone, so he's fine. You can always get out, always. Extui. The Plague Marines that got out of the wrecked Rhino were not able to assault you on his turn. Page 79 of the rulebook under disembarkation restrictions, it says, after disembarking, models can shoot, counting as having moved, or choose a run in a subsequent shooting phase, but cannot declare a charge in a subsequent assault phase. Alright, context is everything. This is explaining in the movement phase of them disembarking. And then it goes on and explains that. Now, even if in the wrecked, and they have the emergency disembark, it says that turn. Now on page 8, it says if it says just turn, it refers to player turn, not the game turn. But yeah, again, context is everything. And so when they say they can't charge in their subsequent assault phase, this was talking about them getting out in their movement phase. So referring in the rulebook, it's the movement phase of the player. You disembark. In the assault phase, which is right after the shooting phase, in like a very short amount of time from now, you can't assault. If I blow up his vehicle and he has to emergency disembark, that wasn't during his movement phase, so when it comes to his turn, he didn't disembark that turn, so he can't assault. I hope that's clear. So, even though it says passengers must immediately disembark in the usual manner, it's kind of weird how it's not completely clear, but that's the way I'm playing it, at least. So no, I couldn't get the charge on them instead.